Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Tanaka! Welcome back to the Roaring Peacock podcast, where we talk about Leeds United, and we have an absolutely enormous show for you tonight. Norwich won, Leeds won. Lots of injuries. Ampadu, Gruev, James, Solomon, Verber, half the team basically. Free agents. Is it warm body time? I won't say the other thing that's on my mind that comes off Twitter. International break is looming. Tanaka, 18,000-mile round trip for him. Sunderland preview, we've got them coming up on Friday. It's 3 games in 6 days for Leeds United. And it's UK Black History Month. Alford Gardner sadly passed away. Good innings though, 98. Founder of the Caribbean Cricket Club in Leeds, and as well, just news today, Lord Herman Ousley, who was one of the founders of Kick It Out. Sort of unfortunate timing for UK Black History Month, but 2 very important figures that we've lost. But we have to pay massive respect for them for just what they've done for the country and the community. So a massive episode coming up, and joining us to discuss all of that and much more, Chairman of the Board, Wiggy, 1, 2, 3, 4 Wigs.
Good evening, like a bus. I want on for a while, and now I think twice a month.
Yeah, you wait for him, and then he slaps you in the face twice, and then pours himself a rosé spritzer. And the Prince of Darkness himself, Big Mac Macca.
Hello.
You and Metcalf. How are you, Mac?
Hello. I'm bloody marvellous. I'm tired. That'd be my overriding emotion right now, which is unusual for me. I'm fucking tired. I said to my missus, the more sleep I get, the fucking tired I am. I exist better on probably about 6 to 7-ish hours, probably is about right for me. I've been sleeping great. I fucking feel like shit. I'm like, I got in tonight after I went to my lad had his careers fair, which is what a great experience that was. Very life affirming, and I feel rejuvenated after that. I mean, that's probably why I feel tired. So lots of stands where you go around, and my son's a dickhead and he doesn't like doing any work. What could I possibly do beyond the age of 16? Is there anything potentially possible? Maybe get a CEO's job at Leeds United. Joking. I'm
gonna say, can't take over at family firm.
yeah. I've got him lined up to obviously come and work for me. Fucking, that's what we do really well. But so I've been to that tonight, and obviously that's like walking around and collecting information about universities and sixth forms and internships and so on. So it might be why, but I just feel really tired. Sorry, I've gone on about my tiredness for far too long.
It's all right, mate. You see, you're not angry enough. I think you're fueled by anger. So,
I am. Yeah, you're right. You spotted it.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'll get on a rant about something in a minute, and I feel fucking great.
Righto. So let's start with Norwich. Norwich and the referee won. Leeds United won. And just by chance, I thought, you know what? I should look up that ref just to see, what his history is. Where he's from. Is he from Manchester, for example? He's not. He's from Staffordshire. I searched Stephen Martin. It came up with Steve Martin. I thought, I'm going to have to refine the search here. That's definitely, he is a comedian, but different medium. So I put Stephen Martin referee. I clicked on news and I scrolled down, and I've written about him. I wrote about him in March. And this is what I wrote about him.
Go on then. Was it complimentary? Was it very complimentary or just a little bit complimentary?
Well, the article was called "While Referee Abuse is Abhorrent, Standards Have to Improve."
Not great then. Not a good start.
Nothing's changed.
It starts like this: when Millwall captain Jake Cooper leapt into the air and planted a knee to the face of Joe Rodon, referee Stephen Martin was perfectly placed and unmoved. Remember, he was on his haunches. Cooper then flicked the ball into the air with his hand. It was the second handball by a Millwall player in their own box during the first half of Sunday's match at Ellen Road. This added to a myriad of other fouls that were missed in a poor game for the officials. And it went on like that. So there we go. That was Stephen Martin. Right. Norwich 1, Leeds 1. Wiggy, should we start off with you and just let Macca sort of smoulder?
Fester. So I think by the end of the game it was a decent point. I think it was end to end. It's quite exciting actually. It was quite Bielsa-esque. I know that we like to talk about Bielsa, so it was quite Bielsa-esque. It was end to end. I think by the time we'd made our substitutions, the latter ones, we were getting a point, and that was it. Because when you're bringing Bamford on, you outscoring, are you? Let's be honest. So I think I think you settle for a point. I think Gelhardt as well probably lost it. So I think it was, we'd obviously gone down 1-0 early doors to that penalty. Got ourselves back in the game. We had opportunities to win it as the game went on. Equally, I think they had some decent opportunities. So I think overall, on reflection, happy with the point. I think it puts obviously more pressure on tomorrow night, but if we can get anything tomorrow as well, you've got to be happy with how this week's gone.
Very good. Macca?
Well, I'm going to surprise you. I'm quite happy with the point there. I think going into any game, you want us to win, get 3 points. Perfectly doable. I thought we started better than them. I thought we looked a better team than them. More threatening, better on the ball. They had that kind of on the break sort of mentality a little bit, and I guess the penalty was kind of slightly against the run of play. I felt. I mean, we'd hit the post by then. We'd had some good chances. We still a little bit lethargic in that final third for me. Even Willie, who I thought had a brilliant game. There was times where he looked like he was in third gear rather than really driving to try and get in the box and take people on and put the burners on. But I think in the context of the game, losing Ampadu, the news, that'll have been a hard news to take for the whole squad, I would imagine, because he's the leader in the team. We looked like we lacked that a little bit of cover in front of the back four without him. That sort of physical strength in there a little bit. I thought losing Gruev early, I thought this is it. We've just about settled with Tanaka and Gruev, then Gruev's got to go. And I think with all that disruption to get a point away, a team that 19, 20 games unbeaten at Carrow Road is a decent point. And I was quite happy to. I think like Wiggy, there was a point in that game when we got the equaliser where it looked like there was only one winner, wasn't there? We were going to probably get the second one and go on and win it. So I was slightly disappointed with the subs, but in the same context, I kind of understood it because I thought we looked tired and we looked like we were getting a bit stretched. And I thought to sort of he's probably protecting Ramazani. I thought Ramazani could be the match winner. I thought he might be the man that goes through and gets the second one. But ultimately, I think he's probably protecting him. He is a very, very cautious manager, isn't he? I think it's frustrating at times, but you can only see how it plays out over the season to see if it's been effective. We'll come on to two horrendous performances in that game. You've already mentioned one. But overall, happy with the point. Particularly with the disruption, losing Gruev. Hopefully that's not a terrible injury. I thought we played pretty well without, again, really threatening as much as we should. But, how many shots did they have in the second half? 1-on-1 or to our 7 or 8 or whatever. So, a bit more prowess in front of goal. I think, was it Bogle had a really good chance, I felt, and I thought Rothwell had a really good chance on the edge of the area. I mean, he did really well to control it and get it in the right place to hit it. But I thought once he'd done that, he was going to put it in the bottom corner. So I thought we had the better chances. As much as they were a threat on the break, I thought we were the better team.
Yeah, Tanaka had a chance as well. Peacock Whites of LUFC. So just 101 people watching across all the platforms. Peacock Whites of LUFC. Hi, lads. Hope all is well. G'day, Peacock. How are you going? And Paul Homeboy says, evening, lads. Evening, Paul. And look at this. It's Wardy. Wardy's in the house.
Hey, all right, Wardy.
Wardy.
Love it, man.
Good to see you, Wardy. How is everyone in the chat? Please let us know. Keep those comments coming in. And subs, then. They didn't really work, did they?
Nope. I think Obviously, the enforced one, I thought it was enforced, and I think he came on. I think he did well. I think he played fine, and I think that one was enforced but worked. I think the other ones later on in the game, they just didn't work. And we all know Bamford needs a few games to even get started and then gets injured again. So like you could see that coming. I think Gelhardt hasn't played much at all, has he, for a long, long time. So almost to be expected. I didn't think they'd come on and change the game, and that's why I think he'd almost gone, yeah, we'll take a point here. We're doing all right. But I think I agree, Mac. I think earlier on in the second half, I could see us nicking one. But as the game went on, it was settling, and it was what it was.
We're lacking a bit of depth. You think we should have done more in the summer?
I think we've been unlucky, haven't we? To lose those two in centre midfield, the starting centre midfielders in the space of a week is really tough. But we all know the Championship's demanding, and you're going to get injuries, and everybody's going to have to cope with them. I think it's disappointing in a way that you've kind of got young people coming through. You look at like the Smith of the world and the Milner of the world. They were trusted to come from that youth product into the first team and have excelled because of it. And it always feels a little bit like the youth that we've got isn't ready. They kind of it's got to be. You look at Cresswell, loads of others. Max Dean, who's doing really well. I know he's playing at a lower division, but you look at the players who've come through. Greenwood, you could keep going on, couldn't you? We've turned out so many, and the kind of one that comes through, Archie Gray, gets sold. After a year of play, it's really frustrating that we can't bring through and keep some of the youth products. That you can't bring in a Charlie Crew or a Debeo or whatever to come in and actually replace people. Cresswell was the obvious one that you think, well, if we get an injury at centre half, which highly likely with Rodon, who looks injured most games he plays, Struijk, has that capacity to get injured. That'd be my frustration. I think the subs wise, somebody said the other day on Twitter, which I think was really funny. Pirro always looks like he's playing in jeans, which is brilliant. And I like Pirro. He's done great coming on recently, so you can't slag him off. I'd have loved, I said it to my pal, I'd have loved Gelhardt to come on and score the winner. But he just looks frustrated and he looks out of shape and he doesn't look confident, which is understandable. So the subs made zero impact. Bamford looks fucking shocking. Which again, Wiggy said it, he needs a few games to get in a run.
I thought he was going to get sent off, Gelhardt, at one point. I thought he lost his temper way too easily.
He looks frustrated.
Yeah.
Probably because he's playing on wing and he's like
he's a striker.
There you go, unit, stand up wing. I think that around transfers though, done it. I just think we've been unlucky with where the injuries are. I think if anyone had said we needed to do more in midfield, I'd have disagreed at the beginning of the season. I think we've got 4 decent midfielders that can play. We've lost 2 in a short space of time. And let's be honest, who of any decency is going to come in and play them the 5th midfielder? They're just not.
The thing is, I was asked who had come in, who we'd replaced Rutter with in the market, and I was struggling to, we were sort of all asking for a number 10, weren't we? And I think if we had that would be the extra midfielder that you sort of think we need. If anyone gets suspended, if anybody else gets injured, we're talking bare bones now, and we just looked a bit light. I thought too many went out. Not enough have come up. I was also asked, this is for the Roker Report for the Sunderland podcast. I was asked about Yelder. Do you remember him? Is it cue your Ian Wright memes? And Ian Pervader, and Joffrey as well. And yeah, it's like Matt was saying. It's like you have the academy system for a reason. I mean, Melier, we promoted him. We promoted Strauch. He's done well. I'm sure that you want to talk about Melier. Is that your other shocking performance?
No, it wasn't. Yeah. The two shocking performances I wanted to talk about was the ref. I thought it was fucking appalling. In the first 5 to 6 minutes, I said to my lad, "We're getting no here. We'd probably get a penalty decision turned down," which later on we did. I didn't think it was a penalty, to be fair. Their penalty was probably a penalty. So there was the big decisions kind of got right, but it was the niggly ones around the pitch where he let stuff go for them. Every time they fell on the floor, they got a free kick. There was one on Firpo over in the far left-hand corner where he got took out, nothing. And there was a couple of others, somebody went through Rodon on the edge of the area, booking all week, nothing, not even a free kick. So he was just shockingly inconsistent. The other horrendous performance was the fucking co-commentator on fucking hell. What game was he watching?
That was awful. That was
Oh my
absolutely
God.
awful. Did you watch the Villa Munich game last night?
No.
So Lucy Ward, ex Leeds United footballer, was on co-coms, and she did brilliantly last night. I thought it was one of the best co-commentary performances I've ever heard. With co-commentators, less is more is the adage. Short, sharp, sweet, simple, incisive analysis that adds to it. What he was doing was just drowning out the whole thing, just whittering on and on and on. Even when I agree with him, it was giving me a headache.
He's a fucking shocker. He said something at one point. I mean, he said a lot of bad things, but the one that stood out was he said Leeds enjoying more possession in Norwich's half. Now, we'd battered them for about the last 20 minutes. We'd been in there. They'd hardly had a kick in there. And it's like, what game are you fucking watching? The quote about Ayling, Luke Ayling, who's played numerous games for Leeds. He couldn't even come up with a rounded figure of how many games or how important he was in the Bielsa years and what a great fullback he was. You know, he played that position for Bielsa perfectly. Scored goals, important. It was awful. Fucking awful. I don't even know who he was. And the worst thing about it was he was an ex-Ipswich player. And he couldn't have sucked off fucking Norwich anymore if he'd have fucking tried. And it's like, for once you think we've got an ex-Ipswich player, we're going to get at least a biased co-commentator in our favour. Like, it's usually Don Goodman who fucking hates us, or what's that big chin twat from Everton called? Fucking... what's he called? Hinchcliffe. Yeah, they all hate us. So I'm thinking, right, I've got an Ipswich lad. It's going to be great. And he was fucking still hated us. That's how much hated we are. Not even their bitterest rivals can say anything nice about Leeds.
They talked about Norwich for like 50 minutes.
I know, yeah.
It's full of, when are you going to mention Leeds? There's two teams here.
Yeah. We've hit the post. You know, it was just awful. It's fucking awful.
I'm lucky I didn't get to hear it. I'm watching on LUTV. Sorry, listening on LUTV.
Oh, right, yeah.
Very
nice. Privilege. You were on one of your holidays, sunning yourself.
Yeah, we're in Spain, so I could watch it on LUTV, yeah.
I was about to say, have I missed something here? Because all I got when I got a membership was a fucking hat that Donny's wearing. A fucking light up slogan that doesn't even light up properly, and two enamel badges. I'm thinking, have you got LUTV as part of your package or what?
No. Oh, what's that?
It's the sign that comes with the membership. And I actually think it's better if you don't have the light turned on.
I said before, it's a typical Leeds analogy, that, because there's a lot of work gone into that being created, and it's shit. And that pretty much sums up Leeds United. It's an half-assed, it'll do. It'll do. Send them that. They have fucking paid out for it. Here you go. I'm surprised they didn't strap a battery in the back of the fucking thing as well.
A-star ambition.
Yeah.
What was it? B+? That's the grade he gave for the summer transfer window, isn't it? B+.
Ungraded.
I think the performance you were thinking you were going to mention was Melier, and that penalty. Yeah. What is he fucking doing?
What is he been there?
1 in 20. 1 in 20.
I reckon, I'm not being funny, teams having a penalty against us would miss more if he walked to the edge of leaned on the post and started smoking a little one of them French cigars, creme caramel. And if he started doing that, and just on the post, I reckon we'd probably concede less penalties, because he might as well do, because that's about an inch away from his feet. Still, I said to my lad, I went, he won't guess the right way. He never guesses the right way, so he's definitely going the wrong way. And because he'd already made his mind up to go the wrong way, he couldn't even adjust his feet to try and block it with his legs. It'd
like it'd be fucking shot. It was just ridiculous. Like, when someone drops down dead shot, I was like, what the fuck is
just
he doing?
Kick it away. Just pick out one of those size 20 boots and just kick it away.
I'll tell
The,
you,
Yeah.
still, like,
the distribution's still a problem for me as well. I mean, the number of ones that sailed out into the crowd. What the fuck? I mean, I don't
And
know what you've got
also,
to do with them. What have you got to
by
do
the
with them?
way, another 6 corners to add to the tally. I don't even care when we get a corner now. I'm more worried that we'll concede a goal
Yeah,
Point-
from a
than
break.
score a goal.
Yeah, true.
it's fucking. Instead of giving us a corner, just give them a goal kick and let's just fucking crack on.
We
Might
are
as well.
so
pointless.
bad at corners.
Yeah.
It's,
But
it's
look at
crazy.
I mean, I've obviously criticised previously the delivery. Look at the movement. Look at the movement in the box. You look at Gabriel for Arsenal. You look at the people who are really dangerous from corners. They're constantly jostling for position, and they'll get the run on a player, or they'll attack the ball, knowing. I said this before, knowing that they probably know where the ball's going to end up, which I'm not convinced we do. I thought that we probably took better corners than we took for a while on Tuesday night. But nobody's moving, nobody's attacking it, nobody's making runs into the box and really attacking the ball. It's
Such
like
a
they
low
just stood
bar.
still.
What?
They stood still watching.
What really frustrates me is in any other walk or working line, if something was that bad and going wrong, there'd be a plan in place, there'd be an action plan, it'd be a focus area, there'd be
Mad,
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah, there'd be loads of stuff. It wouldn't just be, let's just keep fucking trying, like, and hope for best. You'd be sacked. You'd be sacked if it was still.
They need a set piece coach because it looks wrong to me. You sort of ask why have we not scored from the 160 corners or whatever ridiculous figure it is. I can watch every game and tell you why. Quality of delivery is poor, and there's literally no movement. And you're not gonna, a lot of goals from corners are scored from gambling or attacking the space, or we don't do any of that. Everybody stood still. It's not aggressive enough. Delivery at times is a little bit flat or a little bit loopy. It's not in with pace. It's almost like when you watch a kid's game and the kid who's taking the corner ain't got the legs to get a really good corner in. And the kids in the box know that, so they're all just stood almost out of ceremony. It's embarrassing, and we can't keep going on about it without somebody going, we need to do something about it. It's surely, you look in that championship, how many goals are scored from corners, how many set pieces are important in games. And we just look devoid from sort of free kicks, corner, anything around the box just needs to be better. Simple.
Yeah. And I think the last thing on Melly is if we do get promoted this year, we better fuck him off. We've got to fuck him off. We've got to. We cannot have that in the Premier League. If we don't get promoted, then I would still sack him off. But if we do, fuck me.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I'd say that is because when we were in the Premier League, he was near the bottom for expected goals, conceded, saved. Basically, the save percentage, the saves that he should have made, he didn't. And for that same statistic, he's mid-table in the Championship. Like, he's not. If we didn't have Melly, if we had somebody who was older, a bit more experienced, more solid, a better shot stopper, could even be just as good at distribution, but just the absolute basics of a goalkeeper and being able to organise the defence when we needed them to, instead of being a little bit naive and inexperienced and young, which he is, then we probably be able to take more chances, throw more people forward, play more exciting football. But because we've got Meslier there, we have to be so pragmatic to try and stop any kind of a shot coming in.
He does. The weird thing about Meslier is he made a really reactive save. It was quite a uncomfortable angle, and it kind of flicked off somebody. He does some ridiculously good things, but the basics aren't there, and it's staggering because if he had the basics, he would be after we got relegated. That's the problem. Is people must watch him like we do and go, a lot of weaknesses, a lot of issues around distribution, coming and taking crosses for a big lad. He doesn't do it. He's not clean. He's too nice. He don't come out and clean anybody out. Most keepers I've ever played with, even at West Yorkshire Premier League level or combination league, which is a good standard. Fuck you, you're in the way of them, and you're getting caught, and everybody's getting it. Everybody's stood in front. He's just a bit nice and a bit gangly, and he's not really. You thought when he's young, he's kind of a bit gangly because he's still young, but he's not filled out and kind of. There's times where I mean, you know my opinion on him anyway, and I don't want to dig any individual out. Because again, I wanted to say as well. I thought Rothwell when he came on. I've heard people say he was shit. I thought he was great, Rothwell, when he came on. He's progressive, wanted to get the ball forward. Good on the ball, brought people in. Never really gave the ball away. I made a little mistake when he first came on, didn't he? But it's to be expected. Thought Rothwell was great.
Yeah, once they got the hang of playing together, him and Tanaka, I thought, it didn't slow us down that much as I thought it would. I mean, we all watched the same thing. We completely dominated that game.
Yeah,
14 shots to 7. We should have smashed them. Right, some of your comments then, because we've got 200 people watching across platforms, mainly on Twitter. All good here, lads, says Wardy. I think we've just been unlucky with the injuries so far, all in similar positions. All I would have added in the summer was a central attacking midfielder. And he goes on. My favourite part of the commentary was where he was saying we haven't got in behind them, and then proceeded to get in behind them and score.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And the ref missed I thought, a very clear penalty as well. When you look back on it, Nonto gets taken out.
I'm not having that.
Do you think so?
No? Nah. I thought he sort of flicked his foot out and kind of caught the bottom of his studs. I wouldn't give a penalty for that. And I'm the worst at fucking give it a penalty, give a prize, fucking penalty that.
Studs on the toe, it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah, I know, but I thought it was a bit 50-50 for me. But
what part of the ball did he get, Matt?
Huh?
I think we've seen Nonto getting anything, so if it's 50-50, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Even if it's 70-30, it's not happening. So.
Yeah.
Well, he definitely won't give us fuck all that ref because he was.
No, but I mean, to be fair, it was absolute comical defending for the penalty that we gave away. I mean,
poor, really poor.
Who was it? Ramazani and Firpo ran into each other, and then Strauch and Tanaka, was it, ran into each other?
And then
all in the space of
rather
seconds.
Rather than just stand up and block any cross or make it difficult, I'll just slide in and give you a penalty.
But from 5 meters away, it wasn't like like he tried to stick his boot out and slipped a bit. He slid like he was celebrating a goal.
It's poor, really poor.
Can we just talk about how well he's playing the Nonto? He's started this season fantastic, and he's almost playing with that confidence where they've had a word in here and said, "You're the guy this year." Once Somerville's gone, once Rutter's gone, you are our man this year. They've given him a new contract, and he's just playing with confidence. I'm really excited to see his partnership with
Ramazani.
Ramazani progress. I think they're going to make a great.
I think they said, "Look, we've sold all the other best players, and we're not going to buy anybody else." So
it's no pressure, but it's on you.
He's been fantastic. I think his link up play is brilliant. I think he's trying to progress the ball. I think he's scoring and he's assisting. I think he's everything that that Somerville were at this time last season. And I think if he carries on that trajectory, we'll be talking about in the terms of what we were talking about with Somerville last season.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep, 5 chances created against Norwich. That was the most of any player on the pitch. 5 shots as well was the most. 3 duels won. 25 of 34 successful passes. He was all over the place, and he was a real handful, and they struggled to deal with him. Right then, the championship table. Leeds United sit 5th after 8 games. And so it's not panic stations yet. And actually, it's a better start than last season. Sunderland, though, our opponents on Friday, top of the league. So that's the next talking point then. Sunderland preview. How do you think this one's going to go?
I just fancy us on Friday, and I don't even know why, because Sunderland are obviously playing well. I don't know much about Sunderland. Can't sit and talk about them with any degree of thing. I've got a friend at work who's a season ticket holder. He thinks his words when I spoke to him yesterday were, "If we play like we played against Derby, you're going to smash us because we were terrible." But they're winning, and that's what's important in this league, isn't it? So. Look, if we play like we played the last 2, we've got a really good chance. As we spoke about, the injuries are stacking up now, and we've just got to hope that this week in training, we haven't got anyone else who's made a biscuit and makes it to Friday. And if they do, look, our starting 11 is still one of the strongest starting 11 in this league. And I know it's been a short turnaround, but I fancy us. I really do.
Good, like it. Bloody hell, it's like Barney.
Yeah.
Barney's just come on.
No,
you spit out your spritzer.
Yeah, don't say that when I'm having a drink, when I'm swallowing.
Hey, listen, saying nothing. Yeah. He used to be a swallow, now he's a spitter because I just called him Barney. No, do you know what it is? I think I'm like you, Wiggy, where every game, I think, if we turn up and we play, we've got a chance. I think clearly. Sunderland, I mean, a friend of the show, Gab Sutton, called them as going up as champions at before the season started. So people were slagging him off and giving him loads of shit. And to be fair, they've started brilliantly. Will it continue? I'm not sure. I think they've got a really good young squad with potential. But when you've got that, you will have games that you don't turn up. It doesn't quite click. The lack of experience, whatever. I always think we can win. I'll be honest with you. I think if we go into the two tough away games we've had in a short turnaround, having got the 3 points at home, if we can get 5 points out of those 3 games, I'd be all right with that. I wouldn't have any massive issue with it. To go and steal 3 at Sunderland would be massive. And if you look at the top of the table, there you talked about the Championship table. You look at the table itself; it's really tight. I can't remember what Sunderland are on. Is it a couple of points more than us, or 3 points more than us?
If we win 3-0, we'll go top.
Yeah, so
as per the marching out together tweet. So little credit to whoever's doing the socials there.
Yes, well, so Sheffield United unbeaten this season, point above us. So in a way, I'd rather win and lose, win a few and lose one than keep drawing games because it doesn't really push you on. So yeah, I'm comfortable where we're at. I think it's early days. You won't really see where we're at till 12, 15 games as regards of that settling of the division. I mean, everybody was talking about getting Cobra in. West Brom are flying, lost 2 in a row. We know what the Championship is all about. I'd be happy with a point at Sunderland. I don't want to get beat. I think that would be the key. Just like Tuesday, you can't win a game, don't lose it. Pick up a point away from home. If we can keep winning at home and get a point away from home against the better teams and maybe get a few wins, probably go up 2 points a game ish, gets you up most seasons apart from last year. So I'm very comfortable with it, and I think I'll probably predict a draw. I predicted a draw on Tuesday. I probably predict a draw on Friday's game. Tight game.
Okay, score predictions, and please put your score predictions in the chat. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, give us a 5-star review on your chosen podcast player, and also tell all of your friends. Grab your mate's phone and also subscribe and give a thumbs up and do a 5-star review on their phones as well. That would be fantastic. Thank you. So, score prediction, please, Wiggy.
I feel confident, and I don't know why, but I think we're going to win 2-1 on Friday. I really
2-1?
do. I think it'll be a really good game again, like Tuesday was. But I reckon that we'll nick it instead of just drawing. So yeah, I'm confident. I think we're going to win on Friday, and I'm not usually this confident.
Yes, it's Barney.
Well, I've turned into Barney. Fuck me.
Well, Barney said he couldn't come on tonight. What's fucking going on? He's come back from Spain rejuvenated. He's like feeling positive about life.
Okay, Wiggy says 2-1. Oh, sorry, Barney. Mac?
I'm going to go 2-2. I think it'll be a relatively high scoring draw, 2-2.
Okay, and well, you've stolen what I was going to say, Wiggy, because I was asked by the Record Report. I said 2-1 myself. So I'm going to be. Let's go. I've got to do something different. Let's go 3-0 and we'll go top of the league. Perfect. Why not?
Sound. Why not?
Oh, Nora's in the chat.
All right,
hey!
Noz. Hello.
Noza. 2-0 lead, she says. How are you, Nora? You good? Peacock Whites of LUFC. 1-0.
Take that.
Come on!
Take that.
feeling very positive at the moment. 227 people watching across platforms. Thank you very much for your continued support of the channel. Appreciate it very much. And Nora says, "Hey guys, hello,
Hello.
hello." UK Black History Month. Obviously, we can't give any sort of lived experience.
Yeah, the three whitest people in Leeds.
I've got a bit of a cold. I can feel it coming. It's either coming or going. I don't know which one. Bit like me. But yeah, so I'm feeling particularly pale and pasty at the moment. But Macca, you knew Alford Gardner, obviously a massive figure in Leeds, huge sort of personality, added to the tapestry. 5 decades of being sort of integral to the culture and the community here. Arrived on Empire Windrush. He was part of the RAF that fought in the Second World War. 98 years old. What a brilliant story! What a brilliant person! What a brilliant human being, and a great addition to the history of this city.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we pride ourselves in Leeds on being accommodating and welcoming, and the kind of complex makeup and diversity of the city is what makes it what it is, in my opinion. And I've spent time in so many different communities, and the sort of uneducated, ignorant kind of standpoint of a lot of people about immigrants and so on is baffling when you meet people like that, because I think I didn't know him, but I was conscious of his role in the development of the Caribbean Cricket Club, which is I think the oldest cricket club or Caribbean cricket club in the country. I've met him a couple of times at the West Indian Centre, and playing for Prince Philip's, predominantly West Indian football team, shoulder and mutton, all those places. I remember the character, and I remember a lot of people being very reverential towards him from that community. As one of the kind of forefathers, the leading forefathers, the people who developed the West Indian Carnival and the cricket club and football teams around that area of Leeds. I think there's so many brilliant, beautiful people who've contributed so many great things to this city to make it what it is. So it's always sad to lose something like that. But I just say, what an amazing, to use cricket parlance, which was his passion, what an amazing innings, and what an impact and what a legacy you leave behind. And I heard him talking on the radio the other day. I think the one word I would think about people like him and many of that old West Indian generation is positive. They've had this kind of very difficult, being brought to a new country. He would always describe how cold it was. It was free when they first arrived. It was a shock how cold it was. But they came and helped to rebuild post-war England, and did a lot of those kind of jobs, and were happy people and loved the social aspect of it, playing dominoes in the West Indian Centre, the kind of social aspects of living in Leeds and having that community around them. And I think that that positivity is infectious, like negativity is, as we know. Positivity is really infectious. Whenever you meet people like that from that sort of elder statesmen, the elders from the kind of West Indian community, whatever kind of challenges and upbringing, difficulties they've had in their life and hurdles to overcome, you never hear about it from them. The people tend to talk about it. They're always ultra positive people, and I think he was a great example of that. As there's many from that community. So yeah, really a big loss to the city, but he's left his legacy, hasn't he? Which is all you can do in life. Is if you would check out tomorrow, how would you want to be remembered? What have you left behind? So amazing legacy.
Culture, the music, the food. Yeah, it's just amazing, and such a big part of there are things that make you proud to be English. There are certain groups and societies and that add to this sort of cultural melting pot, and it's always the people that are sort of bravely, defiantly themselves, and no matter what anybody else thinks of them, they just shine brighter and brighter. And I think that ascribes all of the people that I'm certainly drawn to, and less so the people who want to diminish others and try and shut others down. Wiggy
A
also,
lot of humility as well. Sorry, I should just say a lot of humility
yeah,
as well in
yeah,
those
true.
people as well. It's not about them. It's not about look at me, making it about themselves, which is a big illness in society these days. A lot of humility, a lot of humble kind of attitude to their contribution. Almost like, well, why wouldn't I do those positive things? Why wouldn't I start a cricket team in the middle of a West Indian community? Why? It's just they just did it. They didn't want accolades for it. They didn't want to be gratified by it. They just got on with it because it was the right thing and the good thing to do.
And you were speaking about the Bob Marley film recently, which sort of ties into that whole the British reggae Caribbean culture. I mean, think about how much that culture is, that community has changed the shape of Britain. Even thinking about ska and just all the movements, I think it's brought us together. I think it's made the world a better place. It's made us more friendly, more welcoming. I think it makes our music better. It makes our cuisine better. Righto, and
melting pot's the word.
That is, yes. Wiggy, your lot were at Holbeck Moor recently. Do you want to talk about them? Do you want to talk about that?
No, because I don't know.
You haven't been briefed. You missed the briefing. This won't make the edit. Cut.
No, cut. You tell him, Donny, what them to do.
So
just do what Angus does. Just make it up, mate.
Just release something that's not meant to be released.
Marching out together, we're at Holbeck Moor for a plaque unveiling.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Love the top, by the way. Love the top, by the way, Wiggy.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, excellent.
It's really nice.
Beautiful top. So 1936, there was a character called Oswald Mosley. You may be familiar with his works. He was the leader of the British Union of Fascists, which was the right-wing fascist group, back when you could be a Nazi openly, sort of.
What do you mean that's changed? What about Nigel Farage? Plenty of examples these days. Nothing's changed much for it, has it?
Yeah, he'd deny it though. That's the one thing that's changed. And Mosley planned this march from the city centre of Leeds to Holbeck Moor, and the plan was to gather all the people like the sort of fascist Pied Piper.
Wow.
And gather them all on Holbeck Moor for a speech. And when the fascists had finished skipping and Pied Pipering their way and bringing all their rats to Holbeck Moor, they discovered 30,000 Leeds residents who were not particularly interested in listening to what he had to say.
Go on, Leeds. Love it.
It's called the Battle of Holbeck Moor. It's a very famous, sort of iconic moment in Leeds history where the residents of Leeds kicked the fascists out, and thought it was quite poignant. Other people did as well. Leeds Civic Trust have unveiled this blue plaque to celebrate that moment in time and immortalise it.
Honestly, I were about to say all of that, and I couldn't get a fucking word in edgeways. For fuck's sake! Honestly, God.
Fucking Sterling thunder there, Donny. You know what I mean?
Well done. Okay, so
that's
just
a brilliant thing. Brilliant thing.
Yeah.
That. Especially in them days when it would have been easy, probably more easy to politically be intrigued by, because it wouldn't have been all over media and social media, to just completely shut it down. And I think stand against it. It makes me proud. Really proud. And I'd like to think if anything like that came about again. It'd be exactly the same short shrift, just like it kind of happened, didn't it? To be fair, they tried it again in was it Millennium Square or outside the town hall? They had this get together recently, and there was sort of more people against it than there. It was a really small turnout. It was quite embarrassing. So good.
Yep, there were thousands of anti-fascist protesters, and
look at that. Sorry,
wow,
been having a serious moment, my lad. Look at that. I literally texted him about 30 seconds ago, and he just comes straight in. There you go, Dad. What a kid. Honestly, I love him. I'm just slagging you off. Slagging you off saying he doesn't do out. He don't want to get a job, or he wants to stay on 6 months. You don't have to do out yet. But,
slap on the head.
What a great kid.
You can tell Christmas is coming.
I said that the other day. He voluntarily sat down and did his homework the other day, and then he went to extra chemistry on Wednesday night. And I'm thinking, what's coming? And then I'm thinking on Saturday there's this crepe fair, like his trainer fair at Royal Armouries, where they've got all these on show. You can buy trainers. I'm not stupid. I know exactly, but you know what? Carrot and stick, it's incentivising him. You bring me a beer, son, you might get some new trainers. So I've got a beer brought up the stairs, and I'll probably have to spend about £150, £200 on a pair of trainers on Saturday.
Yeah.
Don't know who's winning here. I might be losing here.
I'm not being funny. For a pair of trainers, I'd have fucking got him a car and drove it to your house, if I'm honest with you.
It's out of the question. If you don't come back, I might bring you.
The carrot and stick was in full effect there, because he brought you a beer and then slapped you on the forehead.
I know, you get abused, Getting big
made a right sound, that. Right, just enough time then for what's your thing? Do you remember this, Wiggy?
I do, yeah, and I've always got. I've always just shit reality TV.
Yeah, come on, go for it, Wiggy.
Yeah, what was it? What was Barney's last week? It was.
This was My Mum, Your Dad, and
My Mum, Your Dad.
The Naked Day show. It's funny enough. I'm not saying I watched it, but it was on Gogglebox.
You did. You lame bastard.
No, it was on Gogglebox. My missus went, this looks terrible. This is what Wiggy did for his thing.
So you watched people watching it?
Yeah, exactly.
My TV thing at the minute, though, is Married at First Sight. Yeah, it is terrible
you
TV.
Love all that shit,
You get it's one of them where you just can't keep your eyes off it. And even like last night, this couple went home and they were so toxic, it were horrible to watch. But you can't stop watching it, and you didn't want them to go home. Do you know what I mean? Terrible, innit? Like, they're suffering, and I'm like, yeah, this is brilliant TV. Keep them.
What can you give us an example? What of this toxicity? Were they sticking the needle into each other, or
like just coercive control, bullying, like just being absolutely hot, gaslighting, like proper gaslighting.
Both ways, or just one way?
One way mainly.
Wow.
Go on. Female to male, or the way? What was it?
Lesbians.
Oh, even worse.
Yeah. I didn't want to go there either.
I've gone straight in. Boom. There we go. That's say what you think.
Did the show do anything about it, or has anybody done anything about it? About this act of domestic abuse, or is domestic abuse just now entertainment?
So, the experts go in and do help them, yeah,
right? But
it played out to a point where if it had carried on, I think they'd have gone in and removed them from the show.
Right.
Once they got enough good TV, remove them from the show.
This poor woman.
Like, it isn't just that though. Like, there is nice couples in there, and like good couples, and you go, oh, they're really sweet together. I hope they do.
I tell you what I thought was brilliant on that, and again, I don't watch any of these things, but I see a lot of it.
Honestly, bullshit. You remind me of my Uncle Harry, who died years ago, and he'd go, Neighbours is shit, and then you go in and you go, oh, did you see that on Neighbours? He'd fucking watch it every lunchtime, but at 6 o'clock he'd be like, turn that shit off, because he'd watch it at lunchtime. That's why.
Yeah, he didn't want to get no spoilers. No, yeah. I don't watch it not because I'm judgmental about telly, but I don't watch a lot of telly anyway. So I watch it. I tend to see it on Google. But was there a guy that when the bride walked down the aisle to meet him for the first time, he put the false teeth in. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I thought it was fucking brilliant. He put these, them hillbilly teeth that are all black and gaps in them and stuff. So she comes walking down the aisle and he turned around and she was fucking like, all her mates were like, oh my fucking God. And he took them out. What a way to break the ice, man. It was absolutely fantastic.
Honestly, they're a lovely couple. They're getting on.
Yeah, I can imagine so. Listen, if you can base yourself in humour and, if you can laugh at each other, it's a great, not the wrong moment, but if you can laugh with each other, you've got a great basis for a long-lasting relationship. I thought it was brilliant. I really liked that. When he was describing it, I thought it's a bit stupid that, innit? But when he did it, it was just bang on. It was perfect, and everybody just loved it. She was in hysterics, so showed her humour was great, and he was obviously, what a great thing to do. It's really good.
And now you've seen it week on week, day on day. I'm sure you'll agree that it was a good thing to do, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great. I loved that. Oh, sorry, I love that episode. No, You've caught me out, Wiggy. He always gets the truth out of me, Wiggy.
Okay, Macca.
Oh, fucking hell! Hang on. I always every week. Usually my thing just comes straight to my mind, but have I got a thing this week, or should I just pass?
Shall I fill in for you while you think?
Yeah, you go, because I have probably got one, but I need to just think about it. My brain's not working. As I say, I'm very tired.
Well, I realised I didn't do on this day, so I'll just do on this day, and then what day are we on? The 3rd?
Third,
yeah. Okay, a few things. Probably too many things to read out. Let's just do a couple here. Wednesday, the 3rd of October, 1979, goalkeeper John Lukic was given an easy ride on his Leeds debut as the Whites took on Valletta in the UEFA Cup first round. United began with a 4-0 lead in the first leg in Malta and opened the scoring after only a minute through Alan Curtis.
Wow.
Way before my time.
What year was it? 79?
79.
Yeah, I didn't even really know who Leeds were. I was 8 and 9. Didn't know who they were. 80 was my first game.
Leeds struggled on Tuesday, the 3rd of October, 1995, to dispatch second division Notts County in the League Cup, twice throwing away the lead. That goals from Gary McAllister and Andy Cousins had given them before Gary Speed smashed home a 22-yard thunderbolt to give United a 3-2 win at Meadow Lane. Don't remember that one either, but that was in the era when I'd be listening to away games on BBC Radio Leeds, and yeah.
What year was that?
That was 1995.
What was 3rd of October? What was the game? Sorry, I was fucking miles away then.
Notts County in the League Cup.
You're fucking bored in first time.
I don't remember it. Sorry, I made you go through all that getting on there. I still don't know what you're on about.
It wasn't a great day, to be fair.
Notts County,
We've had better days. Right, have you got a thing yet?
I don't
Is
know.
there anyone still watching? 288 people.
Fucking hell, you got no better to do. What? It must be really shit on telly on a Thursday night when I have 288 people watching. But,
Maths is on at 9 o'clock.
What is?
Maths.
Is that
what you call it? Yeah, is that what they call it when you're when you're like what do you call it? A disciple, you call it maths, do you?
Yeah. 9 o'clock. Like you don't fucking know.
I know. I was trying to fucking. I was playing.
Playing it cool. Play it cool.
Trigger my son. No, I ain't got one. I can't be asked. I'm too tired. I can't be bothered. Fucking hell. I was gonna come out with a thing. I think one of the things I've got is that we've got some important people coming to visit us tomorrow on site to talk about the future of green skills training. So obviously we've been pioneering in some of our green skills and new methods of construction training, and we've got some local politicians coming out. So hopefully I'll be on form tomorrow and less tired and able to influence or get some people to influence the funding and support that goes into the future of the construction industry and the green skills and retrofit and renewable energy and passive housing and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I don't normally work on a Friday, so pretty devastated. But I've also made the executive.
Just brush over that real quick.
The
privilege, the absolute privilege.
I tend to not like Fridays.
You don't normally work on a Monday to Friday.
This is true. People would fucking argue that point, and I would probably succumb to that and concede. But the point being, like Friday, so I'm ahead of my time because I've just been listening to a scientific study about the fact that if you worked a 4-day week and did similar hours in 4 days and had 3 days a weekend, people would be more productive and happier and so on and so on. So I'm just ahead of my time, Wiggy, as always, But the point being, I don't work Fridays and I don't like working Fridays. I like to have a 3-day weekend. I'm having to work tomorrow. But what I did strategically, like executive decision was, when somebody said to me, "I invite some businesses that you work with who are involved in that game," instead of going, "Who are the green skills businesses I need to have in the room?" I went, "Who are the green skills businesses I know that like to go for a beer on a Friday afternoon early?" so the businesses I've invited are people that I know really well, some good friends of mine who run construction businesses and are involved in ICF and timber frame buildings and retrofitting and building passive houses, who also like about the visits 1:30 till 3:00. Usually these people at about 3:15, 3:30 like me are going, "Oh, we have to." So they're the people
that's me right now with this podcast.
yeah. I'm done. Right, let's go. Fucking sign off.
Yeah.
So yeah,
my thing then.
Yes, please. Hit me.
So the Sir Harry Evans Investigative Journalism Summit is every May. It's invite only in London, and it has been turned into a series of podcasts by Tortoise Media called Truth Tellers. So if you're interested in sort of latest on investigative journalism and listening to investigative journalists, as well as a whole bunch of other journalists talking about the industry, the behind the scenes, their fears and angst, a lot about, for example, Trump and geopolitics, fake news, AI, all of those sorts of things. Is really fantastic. A word of caution, there is definitely some very, very harrowing ones, especially the journalists who reported in Gaza. Some of the stories that they were telling, incredibly difficult to listen to. But if you at all have any interest in journalism and how it's covered, more than just slagging off the media online, then I highly recommend Truth Tellers. That's the podcast that I've been listening to. You got to go there right after you give the Roaring Peacock 5 stars and tell all your friends to do the same.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry.
No, go on.
I listened to a podcast, UK True Crime podcast, that I really like. They're only like short half-hour episodes.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. I just like his voice, so I listened to it, go to bed, fall asleep every fucking time. There's obviously some really serious stuff in there. His voice, it just sends me off. So that's what I listen to. Yeah, to get me off to sleep. Is someone talking about murders and everything else that's going on in the world that's wrong.
There's a dark streak in you, Wiggy.
Yes, there is.
There's an evil side to you. You need somebody. You need somebody soothingly talking to you about
Death.
the worst crimes that humans can commit against each other, and you're all tucked up, cozy. Oh, this is my zone here.
It's his voice. He's got a really nice voice. Anyway, sorry.
Do you know? Have you bothered? Are you shallowing?
No.
No, right, okay.
I haven't stalked him or not. I just like listening to.
Well, that's where you and Barney differ, because normally when he goes on about something like Calvin Phillips, Bielsa, he has stalked him, and there's a photograph coming in Waitrose somewhere, isn't there?
Yeah, right. No, I haven't gone that far.
And so some turf in the post. Righto, that's it. Come on, Leeds.
I was going to say,
more, Wiggy.
Go on, he's got something else to say.
No, Mac, you go first.
No, I was going to say that podcast-wise, I listen to I listen to the Socially Distant Sports Bar, and I've started listening to the Ricky Gervais, Carl Pilkington, Stephen Merchant, XFM ones, which are just, I think they're quite. I don't know if everybody would take to it, but I tend to listen to funny podcasts. I want to, like you, Wiggy, it's completely the wrong way to do it because you're in bed, you're going to sleep. That's when I listen to podcasts. My missus is asleep next to me normally. And last night there was a thing, it won't be funny to be told, but Ricky Gervais and Carl Pilkington were having this interaction and it was extremely funny. And I started fucking pissing myself, right? So I sort of know I could probably get away with 3 or 4 quite serious, laughing movements in bed. The sheets about because I was proper creased up, and it's a bit like when you get told off by a teacher at school, and when you know you shouldn't be doing it, you start laughing more, don't you? And I fucking felt this fist come through my cheeks, boom, God's like, so I listen to stuff that makes me laugh. I used to read Roger Melly's Profanisaurus in bed, and equal falling outs going on because there was a bollock. Looks like a bat's wings. It was thick, veiny, leathery testicles, basically knackers that have been wanked flat. So they have all these bollocks like a bat's wings. Yeah, so I'd be fucking in hysterics and visually and viscerally, I'm it's in bed, and she'd be like, "Will you shut the fuck up? Been asleep for half an hour now." It's she doesn't talk like that. So she's like, "Will you please go to sleep, you?" She'll hate me for saying that, but yeah, I listen to podcasts that I know, and I read books that I shouldn't read in bed because I get the giggles like a kid, and then end up nearly getting divorced or having to sleep with one eye open because my missus is from Crossgate, so yeah, she'll probably do something to me when I'm asleep. Sorry, that was just a little offshoot of podcasts.
This look like I do listen to normal ones as well, but I won't bore anyone with that anymore. But, yeah.
What normal ones?
The No Bullshit Leadership podcast is brilliant. If you work in corporate world, it just talks a lot of sense, and you go, yeah, that fucking makes sense. Why don't we do that? And you can really learn from it. When you work in corporate, I work in a charity, but when you work in a corporate environment, it just talks real good sense. So I really like that one. Obviously, I listen to Leeds United ones. Apart from this one, I mean,
whoa! Which is your favourite Leeds? Which is your favourite Leeds United?
Roaring Peacock podcast when Barney's on. Only when Barney's on.
Oh no, yeah, he's good. It's quality.
Brilliant. So a couple of recommendations there at the end. Truth Tellers from myself. What was it from Matt? Bat balls, veiny bat balls.
It's basically that's me.
Drained bollocks.
It's the Viz. Roger Melly's Profanisaurus. Yeah, Roger Melly's Profanisaurus. He's from Viz. Right. He's from Viz. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And the No Bullshit podcast from Wiggy. So right after you've listened to the what was it? Drained bollocks. Then
Drained my bollocks. Drained my bollocks podcast. Yeah.
That sounds like that sounds like a podcast I'd be interested in.
Right. You can watch.
You're draining your bollocks over that guy talking.
Win at the Stadium of Light. It's over. This podcast is over. I'm shutting it down. Good night. Come on, Leeds.
Bye, everyone.